presence, our branding, and talent sourcing. And Cato has been in charge of our finances and business developments. I'll be going back and forth and asking Reeve and Cato your questions, taken from the AMA questions channel. Might answer a few myself. Cato, you want to say hi?
Yeah, hey, just really quick, Pi, your mic, there's like a fan in the background.
Oh yeah, let me go take care of that real quick.
Okay, so while he's doing that, I'll introduce myself. Hey everyone, my pseudonym is Cato. I'm one of the founders of SUNDAESWAP, along with Reeve. A little bit about me. My background is in finance, and I've worked in a couple startups in the past as well. We're really excited to answer all of your questions, and I've read a couple before coming on, and I saw a lot that I really liked. So I'll pass it off to Reeve for now, and then after that we can check on Pi again.
Hey guys, I'm Reeve. I'm really excited to be here tonight and answer all of your questions. I'm one of the founders of SUNDAESWAP. My primary roles in the project are in building and managing the teams, establishing connections with other projects, and I'm responsible for the UI UX design of the platform. A little bit about my background and past. I run 2 nonprofit organizations currently, and I was also the co-founder and CSO of a social media startup in the past. With that being said, I think we're ready to dive into the questions if Pi's back and he's all ready to go.
Yeah, is my audio a little bit better?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we've got a lot of questions in this AMA questions channel. So I'll be scrolling through here and picking out some questions to ask you guys. We have about a half an hour today to answer questions, and we, definitely won't get to all of them. There's a lot here, but there's still time to add some questions in the channel, and we'll definitely do more of these in the future. So let me try and find a good first question to ask. Let me scroll up. So yeah, how about the first question that somebody asked from Bags? How does Sundae see itself differing from other notable swaps on ADA, such as CardSwap? Cato, why don't you take this?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, Bags. So at the moment, as everyone probably knows, there's no Cardano DEX that really exists yet. So it's pretty hard to differentiate when there's no actual product out there. One thing I can say with absolute certainty, though, is that the team behind Sundae is very experienced, and in the future, in the coming weeks, we're going to be revealing them. So that should answer some future questions about anonymity and all those. Another that everyone probably knows at this point is we have a very fast-growing community. So over the past month, we've gained about 50,000 followers on Twitter, and the Discord has obviously grown exponentially as well. And as you can probably tell from our accents, we're based in the US. So there's definitely plans to lean into the regulation aspects. As far as differentiation goes, as for the product, some innovative ideas that we've been discussing are going to be detailed in the upcoming white papers. So we'll get into those a little bit later, I assume.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, let me find another question for you. How about this one from Mikor? What is the staked money going to be used for? I'm assuming he's talking about the ISO. I would like to see a plan which shows that there is a plan. Cato, why don't you answer that one?
Yeah, so before the ISO launch date, we were planning to release all that information anyway. To be clear, we were intending to release the amount then, and so our plans haven't really exactly changed in that regard much. So that will continue to be there.
Cool. Let me find one to toss to Reeve. From Zephant, which features will be available at launch? I think this one is a good one for Reeve to answer since he's doing our UI and UX.
Yeah, sure. So, we have a lot of ideas in our back pocket that we are looking to implement. But for our, initial launch, we want to keep things very simple and functional. So we're going to focus on main features of the classic DEX, which is the ability to provide liquidity and execute swaps using Cardano native tokens. And something, I started designing as well is a section to display the NFTs that we've given away on Twitter. So that's something that's pretty cool, in my opinion.
Awesome. Here's one from, also from Mikor, it looks like. He says, should we be afraid of the same kind of exploit that have been executed against other exchanges? So I can probably take that one. So as we go into developing the DEX, our process is going to focus really heavily on verification, simulation, formal methods, and proving properties about our protocol before we ever release it into the wild. And we're going to follow that up with a really thorough auditing round. So we're reaching out to a bunch of really great auditing companies, and with a formal specification of our protocol, they can really help us, answer questions or point out flaws in that protocol before it goes live, if there are any, and make sure that the code that we've implemented against that matches that as a third party. And so we hope that that gives people a lot of confidence. As for this specific exploit, I haven't reviewed it, so I can't comment in detail on that. Here's one from Dopamine Dreams. I like that username. Did you guys have a pitch meeting with Charles Hoskinson? And what has the SUNDAESWAP team discussed with the Liquid Finance team? Kato, why don't you talk about this one?
Yeah, so we did have the opportunity to meet with Charles, and he's a great guy. He's exactly what you would expect off his YouTube videos. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and yeah, I think that's good for now.
Yeah, and I see a similar question from RJ Chuckle in the next question. What level of support, backing, assistance, if any, do you have from IOHK? And oh no, I misread who asked one of these. But yeah, and has the Sunday team discussed anything with the Liquid Finance team?
Okay, so yeah, going back to the Liquid thing, we have opened a point of contact with them, but there's no real discussion related to any sort of partnership. Did I answer everything? Pi?
Yeah, I think so.
I missed something. Okay.
Yeah. Here's one. RJ Chuckle asked a bunch of them, and I can't ask all of these, so I'm gonna drop one. I'll pick one. When will we see the updated technicals, such as the white papers? Reeve, you want to talk about the timeline for that?
Yeah, sure. So, as you guys know, we're planning on releasing a series of white papers, actually. So, our first one is going to be about outlining the problem space, as well as the 4 to 5 models that we're considering for the actual protocol itself. The 4 to 5 models will be covered in future white papers, but the first one that we're planning on releasing will be about the problem space, which will be published on June 1st.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm working hard on writing those right now. Let's see. Let me scroll down and find another good question. Here's one from Ipe. Will SUNDAESWAP take potential profit from rise in price of my ADA, or will they only take my 5% staking rewards? So I'm assuming this is about the ISO again. Reeve, you want to talk about the ISO?
Yeah, sure. So if you're participating in the ISO, your Cardano that you're staking can't be touched by anybody from the team, and it'll stay safe in your wallet essentially for the whole entire time you're staking with us. And this is something that's designed by IOHK themselves, so it's completely secure. The only thing that you're actually going to be contributing to SUNDAESWAP is your staking rewards, and from which we'd be taking a percentage of that.
Cool. I saw this question from No Dally Dude that I liked. It's very technical, so I'll take this one. How are you deriving your market maker function? Like, what will be the formula? And are there other protocols you're looking to for inspiration? So we, like Reeve mentioned, we're going to have some white papers coming out that talk about kind of some of our thought process. But we're starting from a position of a constant product function. This is similar to kind of several other protocols that are out there. And then on top of that, there are a number of things that we can layer in that improve that function in different ways to, increase liquidity or lower price slippage. The final decision for what we make is going to be based off of simulation and like the various properties that we can prove about that. I kind of mentioned earlier, the mechanisms of formal methods and stuff. But like some of the ideas that we're investigating are some of the concentrated liquidity pools that you see in certain protocols and different functions to account for stable pairs. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. It's a little bit technical, but I always like getting into the technicals. Let me look for another one. Here's a nice simple one from Mikor. How does SUNDAESWAP earn money? So Kato, why don't you talk about this one?
Yeah, so like most DEXs and exchanges in general, there are a number of ways to earn money. But the way that we're planning on at first is just the most simple, taking fees on the trades. And then as the protocol expands, we'll think about other ways as well. But that's the main way.
I see a couple questions, and I've seen this, in our general chat as well. Will there be merch? We've got really great branding, yeah. Kato, why don't you talk about that?
I love this question. So to be clear, at the beginning we were planning on launching merch, and it's an idea that we've been playing around, but we're kind of weary about it coming off as a cash grab if we launched it too early. So the plan right now is to wait for the version 1 protocol to come out when we have a working swap available. And then from there, we were thinking about like limited edition stuff coming out. So like hoodies, plushies, t-shirts, things like that. And then we can probably go from there.
Yeah, I for one want my Sunday hoodie or something. Here's a question from Swamp Fox 1474. If your fundraising is more popular than expected, multiple pools getting saturated, etc., could you use that to expand the team and speed up development or deployment instead of returning more ADA to stakers? So this is a really good question, and the concept of saturation is one that we've thought about a lot in kind of the technicals. And really, it's one of the things that surprised us about SUNDAESWAP is that we had such an aggressive community. When we first launched this, we were expecting to get, our ambitions were a half-saturated pool, and that would kind of fund our operations. We can increase that, and there's a saying that more cooks in the kitchen don't make a better stew, and so we don't necessarily want to kind of aggressively expand the team when we don't have